Slimy. This right here is my quick review on Stargirl Season 3, Episode 8. Very, very good, solid, emotional episode right here. Hey, sorry, y'all. This episode really is based off the fact of showing emotion because Pat, Pat and the Shade, both in the Shadowlands, have both going through emotional depth about what they go through, their guilt, eating inside anything that's your conscience in it. As everybody knows, this was about the Shadowlands. So once the Shade realized that stuck in there can't get in there, we get in kind of more of Shade's backstory. Shade's backstory with him is like guilty of the gambler, about he was the last person to see him alive before he got killed, so he felt guilty about that. Then we see about his sister. We know about his sister dying, like about that, how he felt so guilty about that, like her being alone and all that, her dying. He's dead up inside. So we finally get, more of the human side of Shade, the emotional side, emotional depth, a side of Shade we never seen before. Which, like I said, I enjoyed it. I liked it. I was entertained by the emotional depth of this episode. Then we got more emotional depth about Pat. Pat's dad coming at him, how his dad was very, verbally abusive. It seemed like as a kid, saying about, oh, you're never a leader and all that, everything, trying to challenge him and everything like that, saying he was never good enough for him and all that. Which a lot of stuff we don't know, because I don't think we ever got into Pat's backstory at all. So this is very interesting to hear Pat talk about, he sees Pat father, sees some of his child, how he grew up. Also about him and also about Mike's mom. I know his other wife, Mike's mom. We never got a backstory on that. We learned about that as well, about his mom being on drugs and his mom leaving him and all that. And about how Mike really doesn't know or anything like that about the history, about what happened to his mom and all that. So that definitely for real, that definitely, creates a lot, like, a lot of future stuff that we can talk about in future episodes or future storylines for later on this season or next season as well, because we're very much still early in this season. So wow, to see all that, I'm just like, okay, wow, like they really went there to depth with the Shadowlands. Then we got the about Todd and Jenny, about them coming together, finding each other emotional as they felt and everything like that. And also we got Courtney convincing Mr. Bones about how, they don't need to hide in the shadows, they can be out and be free. Which of course starts Helix, a DC superhero team. Not a superhero team, but kind of like a villain team that they call Helix. So she's kind of helping them out with that. Gives kind of emotional words of depth for her. Give emotional words, pretty much motivation about saying, don't hide, don't be an outsider or anything like that. Because, you just won't ever, know who you are, pretty much. Saying, I don't know the exact words and exact line that Courtney said, but it was to that nature, pretty much, of like, don't ever don't ever just hide in the shadows, don't ever hide from the world or anything like that. Be out and all that, be yourself. So very, very, like I said, very, very good episode. And in the end, of course, Jenny and Todd, they end up finding each other and getting together, and she's able to help Todd, control his powers and all the other Shadowlands, which, lets everybody out. Pat and the Shade get out and all that. They're able to escape along with Helix and along with Mr. Bones, and let Courtney and them go. And then Courtney and the rest of Courtney, of course, and Jenny and Todd, and let Pat and Shade all go. And then, they talk about Sandman. They hit at Sandman. That could be another character we might see in a future season, or later on this season. They talk about Sandman, how Jenny and Todd they're going to go see Sandman, so learn how he can control his powers and all. So that's going to definitely, that's for sure. That's definitely going to hit, and all that. Hint at something, real special and all that with them meeting Sandman. And, Pat said, convince the Shade, hey, you can teach these kids, help them out, learn from them. You can help do that. Rewrite your wrongs, everything you've done. You're part of why the Jazz said it's no longer here. You kind of played a little part in that. So do right by them and do your wrong and do what you, pretty much do what you need to do. So this, like I said, this definitely for sure, man. Definitely for sure. Good, solid, kind of emotional kind of episode. But with everything, with Courtney feel like she fixed, the thing with Mr. Bones and all and everything. And we also found out as well, Mr. Bones is not the one we think. That's the one that's been spying on him and all that. It has not been him. So this hint is something else too. That's not Mr. Bones, the one that's been spying on him. So they threw us a curveball with this. That's not who we thought it was. So that's definitely real, real huge. But of course, also as well, this kind of convinced Courtney to feel like she can tell, Icicle, she can tell, Icicle Jr. pretty much about his father. Pretty much tell him about who she really is and everything like that. Tell Cameron, I should say. I almost forgot his name, Cameron. She feels like with this whole thing with that, then maybe she can tell Cameron, hey, maybe I could tell him about how I'm really Stargirl and everything like that and all that. And we see from the next episode, whoo-wee, that's no like it's gonna point out good for her. Does not look like that at all. So I don't know, we'll see, but the way it's looking like, yeah, I don't think it's gonna go well for her this episode with that. Like, next episode with that. I can't wait for next episode. It's gonna be back more action packed. Cause this episode is more slow paced, more not really big on anything like that. It's very, very slow episode and all that. Not a lot of stuff going on in this episode. But yes, next episode for sure. Like, it's gonna be more action and all that. Cause now that Cameron finds out about, who she is, she's Stargirl and everything like that, and she's responsible for his father's death. We gonna be real, real big. But because we see in this episode, like that's, this past episode that came out yesterday, that we see like, why? Because she felt like she was able to convince Helix them to let Ty go and change their mind and change their perception about everything. So she felt she could do the same thing with Cameron. So we'll see how that works for her. But I don't know. Help me out with the comments. Maybe Justice King, you're one of the main ones always commenting right here on my channel. Maybe you can tell me, like, who is that? The villain that they just showed. They hinted at having time to look at other people's reviews to see who it is. Who the villain is they actually show. They just see a guy with a hood on. Looks like it's Dragon King. Maybe he's back or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that could definitely, well, of course, tie everything together with Sydney and all that. But that's what like it could be. That was Dragon King that was watching them from the sewer and all that. Which if it is, it's definitely going to create definitely a good finale, a season finale for this season. Definitely put a lot of spin on things, especially, for Sydney's character. Of all everything for her really will come together this season. So, you help me out in the comment section and let me know who that is. But it looked like that was Dragon King. So, we'll see. Like I always say, if you like the content, please don't hesitate to like the subscribe button. This is Slime Media. This is my review on Stargirl Season 3, Episode 8. Check me out next, because my next review is going to be on Atlanta. Like I said, 3 more episodes left of Atlanta. This episode that comes out tonight is Episode 8. Stay tuned for me tomorrow night when I do my review on that. So, they're going to do a review on that on Atlanta Season 3. Atlanta Season 4, Episode 8. So, I'm definitely going to review on that. So, y'all check me out for that. And, over the weekend, ain't nothing else because, of course, everybody know Raising Cain is over with. All right, check out my review on that. I did a review on that a few days ago on the season finale. Check me out for that. But other than that, I might just do stuff on my other channel, Slime Media Sports. I'm most likely going to do more stuff on that over the weekend and all. So, like I said, y'all stay tuned for like my next video, though, of course, on Atlanta. So, y'all stay tuned for that. And, of course, stay tuned as always. I'm always doing a review on Stargirl. And, of course, when Titans hits next month, definitely going to start doing reviews on that. But, yeah, have a good day. Enjoy life. This is Slime Media.